TechRestore.
Today we're going to be doing disassembly on the iPhone 4, and the first thing we're going to do is remove the SIM card tray, and we're going to use a paper clip to remove it. Just stick it in the hole there, press down, and the SIM card tray will come out. Then we're going to remove the two Phillips screws on the bottom. Located on the bottom of the phone are two screws. We're going to remove those with the Phillips screwdriver. Next, we're going to flip it over and then push the back to take the back cover off. After the back cover is removed, we're going to disconnect the battery, and there's one screw located right here. Phillips screw we're just going to remove. And we're going to take our plastic tool and we're going to remove the battery connector, and this will flip out this way. And there's a tab on the battery, and we're going to lift this out towards this way to remove the battery, and the battery is taped down, so be careful on how hard you pull up the battery. Now we're going to remove the shield, and holding the shield down are 5 Phillips screws, and each screw has a different size, so be sure when you remove the screw, it goes back in the exact same hole you removed it from. And this screw right here is the longest screw, and that's really important that you put that screw in the back in that same hole. Okay, and then when taking the shield off, it's going to lift back that way and slide out that way. Now we're going to remove the camera, and removing that, we're going to flip up the connector cable located right here. Flip that back, and the camera will lift out, up, and out. Now we'll be removing the vibrator, and holding it down will be 2 screws, and those 2 are different size screws as well, so we want to keep track which screw goes where. And the screw I'm taking out now is the longer screw. And the vibrator will just come straight out. Now there's 5 connector cables, but we're going to disconnect. And then this cable we're going to do first before this cable, because it's overlapping the cable on the bottom. Now we're going to be removing the shield, which holds down the dot connector cable, and holding that down is 2 Phillips screws, and we're going to be removing those first. And these two are different size screws as well, and the longer one is located on the outside of the phone. Shield will just come off, and right here is your dot connector cable. I'm just going to disconnect that, and underneath the dot connector cable is adhesive tape that you're going to have to be careful when removing. So we'll just get our plastic tool under there and just slide it upwards. And next we're going to remove the 2 screws located right here and here. Now we're going to disconnect the antenna cable from the logic board, and we're going to lift the speaker assembly upwards and out. And you'll see located right here is the tab which slides underneath the logic board, which when the screw is screwed into the logic board holds the speaker assembly down in place. Now we're going to be removing the logic board, and holding the logic board down are 2 screws. There's a Phillips head screw here, and there's a flathead screw located right here. The first screw I'm going to remove is the Phillips. Now I'm going to remove the flathead screw. Now the logic board will lift up and out towards the bottom of the phone. There's 10 screws holding down the screen into the frame assembly. There's 4 located in the corner. There's 1, there's 2, 3, and 4, and then your remaining 6 are 3 on the side and 3 on this side. So we're just going to remove the screws in the corner. After we got the screws out in the corner, we're going to remove the screws on the side. And there's washers holding onto the screws too as well. Be sure you get the washers along with the screws. Okay, after removing the screws, we're going to remove the display portion from the frame assembly, and it is double-sided tape down here, so we're just going to get in with the corner our plastic tool here. And just follow all the way around the edges. You'll see the cable is located right here. When we take the display out, we want to be very careful when pulling it out because these cables are going to come out with the display itself too as well. Okay, on the reassembly, we want to make sure that these cables and this tab right here gets fully inserted back into the bottom frame. So we're just going to put the cables through first. And then we want to make sure that the cable we were talking about, gets fully pushed in. You can see it's all the way in. Then we can continue to seat the display back into the bottom frame. After our display is inserted back into the bottom frame, we're going to put our 10 screws back in and reassemble in reverse order.